In the quiet corners of history, there are civilizations whose whispers still echo softly through the ruins of time, inviting us to wander gently through their stories. Among them, the Mayans stand as one of the most fascinating and enigmatic cultures ever to grace the earth. From their intricate cities rising out of the dense jungles of Central America to their profound understanding of astronomy and mathematics, the Mayans crafted a world that seems both distant and familiar, magical yet precise. Today, we invite you to drift through 25 sleepy facts about the Mayans, exploring their life, their discoveries, and the subtle mysteries that still linger. As you settle in, let your mind float among their temples, pyramids, and star-filled skies. And as always, if you find yourself captivated by these gentle journeys into the past, like, subscribe, and share so that more wanderers can drift softly through the wonders of history. Now, let's move on to our first fact. The first fact brings us to the heart of Mayan civilization, their cities, which rose like emerald crowns in the midst of thick, verdant jungles. Imagine stepping into a clearing where the sunlight filters through layers of green, dancing across the stone faces of towering pyramids. Cities like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan were not merely settlements, but living, breathing worlds, each humming with life, trade, and ceremony. Streets carved carefully from stone wound through plazas where the hum of conversation and ritual would have filled the air, the soft clatter of pottery, the calls of traders, and the distant rhythm of ceremonial drums blending into a gentle symphony of human activity. Each building had a purpose: temples to commune with the gods, palaces for rulers to oversee their realms, and ball courts where the Mayans played their sacred Mesoamerican ball game. These cities were engineered with a precision that can make a modern visitor pause in quiet awe, for their roads, reservoirs, and terraces reveal not only architectural skill, but also an intimate. In the quiet corners of history, there are civilizations whose whispers still echo softly through the ruins of time, inviting us to wander gently through their stories. Among them, the Mayans stand as one of the most fascinating and enigmatic cultures ever to grace the earth. From their intricate cities rising out of the dense jungles of Central America to their profound understanding of astronomy and mathematics, the Mayans crafted a world that seems both distant and familiar, magical yet precise. Today, we invite you to drift through 25 sleepy facts about the Mayans, exploring their life, their discoveries, and the subtle mysteries that still linger. As you settle in, let your mind float among their temples, pyramids, and star-filled skies. And as always, if you find yourself captivated by these gentle journeys into the past, like, subscribe, and share so that more wanderers can drift softly through the wonders of history. Now, let's move on to our first fact. The first fact brings us to the heart of Mayan civilization, their cities, which rose like emerald crowns in the midst of thick, verdant jungles. Imagine stepping into a clearing where the sunlight filters through layers of green, dancing across the stone faces of towering pyramids. Cities like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan were not merely settlements, but living, breathing worlds, each humming with life, trade, and ceremony. Streets carved carefully from stone wound through plazas where the hum of conversation and ritual would have filled the air, the soft clatter of pottery, the calls of traders, and the distant rhythm of ceremonial drums blending into a gentle symphony of human activity. Each building had a purpose: temples to commune with the gods, palaces for rulers to oversee their realms, and ball courts where the Mayans played their sacred Mesoamerican ball game. These cities were engineered with a precision that can make a modern visitor pause in quiet awe, for their roads, reservoirs, and terraces reveal not only architectural skill, but also an intimate understanding of the land and environment around them. The city was a world within a world, and the quiet patience with which the Mayans built it speaks of a people attuned to the rhythms of the earth, the sun, and the stars. Now, drifting gently to our second fact, we explore the Mayan calendar, a system that has captured imaginations for centuries. The Mayans were unparalleled observers of the heavens, tracking the movements of the sun, moon, and planets with an almost meditative precision. Their calendar was not just a way to mark time, it was a lens through which they viewed existence itself. The long count calendar, often misunderstood in popular culture, was a meticulous record stretching across thousands of years, mapping cycles of creation, change, and renewal. Imagine a scribe in the soft flicker of candlelight, carefully etching symbols into a codex, each glyph a marker of cosmic rhythm. Their calendar combined the Tzolk'in, a 260-day ritual cycle, with the Hab, a 365-day solar year, weaving together the spiritual and the terrestrial, the mystical and the practical. In their understanding, time was cyclical, flowing like a river, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, yet always moving forward in a delicate balance. It is a quiet reflection of a people who measured life not in hours or minutes, but in the slow, profound arcs of stars and seasons. Our third fact takes us into the delicate artistry of Mayan writing. The Mayans developed one of the most sophisticated writing systems in pre-Columbian Americas, a tapestry of glyphs that recorded everything from royal lineages to epic tales of gods and heroes. Each glyph is a miniature work of art, intricate and precise, often combining symbols that convey sounds, concepts, and images all at once. Picture the Mayan scribe seated beneath the shade of a ceiba tree, ink made from soot and natural pigments, brush poised with deliberate calm. Each line drawn is a meditation, each symbol a window into a culture where literacy was a bridge between the human and the divine. These glyphs survive today on stone monuments, stelae, pottery, and codices, whispering to us softly from centuries ago, revealing stories of rulers who celebrated victories, priests who charted the stars, and ordinary people whose lives were intertwined with the rhythm of the universe. The act of writing itself seems almost a ritual, a quiet meditation, reminding us that for the Mayans, every word carried weight and every symbol contained a universe within it. Drifting now into fact 4, let us wander into the lush, mysterious world of Mayan agriculture. The Mayans were extraordinary farmers, coaxing abundance from the dense tropical forest with techniques that seem almost magical in their cleverness. They developed a method known as milpa, rotating fields and cultivating maize, beans, and squash together in harmonious cycles, each crop supporting the other in a delicate ecological balance. Imagine the soft rustle of leaves in the wind as families tended their plots, the earthy smell of freshly turned soil mingling with the sweet scent of growing corn. Beyond the milpas, they built terraces and reservoirs to capture rainwater, carefully preventing erosion and ensuring that even in times of dry spells, life would endure. Their understanding of the land was intimate, almost whispering with the rhythms of nature, and their innovations ensured the prosperity of cities and kingdoms throughout generations. It is a quiet marvel to think that beneath the shade of giant ceiba trees, in the stillness of the early morning mist, the Mayans were shaping the land with patience, foresight, and reverence, leaving lessons of sustainability that resonate even today. Now, let's drift into the fifth fact, which brings us to the Mayan devotion to astronomy, a discipline that merged science, art, and spirituality in the gentlest of ways. Their observations of the skies were meticulous, often conducted from the tops of pyramids, where the wind whispered through the stone, carrying the scent of jungle flowers. They tracked Venus with a dedication that can inspire quiet wonder, noting its appearances and disappearances as omens and markers of cosmic events. Their architectural designs often aligned precisely with solstices, equinoxes, and planetary positions, demonstrating a harmony between human creation and celestial rhythm. Imagine standing beside a Mayan priest, gazing at the twilight sky, the first stars appearing like faint jewels above the canopy, and feeling the same awe they must have felt at the eternal dance of the heavens. Their calendars, temples, and rituals were intertwined with these celestial observations, creating a world where every movement of the sky reflected the inner order of their society. This devotion was not hurried or rigid, but gentle, contemplative, and deeply intertwined with the cycles of nature and the human spirit. Now, as we slowly move to Fact 6, let us wander into the sacred world of Mayan rituals and religious ceremonies. The Mayans believed that the world was alive with spirits and energies, that the movements of the stars, the rise of rivers, and even the rustle of leaves carried messages from the divine. Imagine a soft dawn in a dense jungle, mist curling around the base of a pyramid, where priests move with measured steps along stone terraces. Their garments are woven with the colors of the jungle, adorned with feathers and shells, glinting softly in the first morning light. Ceremonies often included offerings to gods, from delicate flowers to the careful pouring of cacao, a beverage treasured not only for its taste, but for its spiritual significance. Some ceremonies, whispered about in legends, involved bloodletting, a solemn act believed to nourish the gods and maintain balance in the universe. Each ritual was a quiet dialogue between humans and divinity, performed not with haste or spectacle, but with a deep, reflective patience, a reminder that the Mayans viewed life itself as an intricate web of sacred connections. The chants, the rhythmic drumming, the flickering candlelight all created an atmosphere of serene reverence, echoing across centuries to touch us even today. Now, drifting gently toward Fact 7, let us explore the Mayan ball game, a practice that combined sport, ceremony, and storytelling in one slow, deliberate rhythm. Imagine a broad stone court lined with high walls where two teams move carefully, rhythmically, passing a solid rubber ball with hips, elbows, and knees, never using their hands. The sound of the ball striking stone carries across the plaza, blending with distant murmurs of spectators and the rustle of jungle leaves. This game, known as Poka-Talk, was far more than recreation. It was a mirror of cosmic struggle, a reenactment of life, death, and the eternal journey of the sun. In some interpretations, the losing team, or occasionally the winner, depending on the ritual, might be offered to the gods, a quiet yet profound reminder of the sacred weight the Mayans gave to their actions. The courts themselves were carefully constructed, sometimes aligned with celestial points, reflecting the seamless blending of earthly practice with cosmic observation. Watching the game unfold, one can almost feel the slow heartbeat of Mayan society, where leisure, ritual, and cosmic meaning move together in a calm, unhurried cadence. The players, the spectators, and the stones themselves all participate in a dance of patience, focus, and quiet intensity that resonates far beyond the game itself. As we drift toward Fact 8, let us turn our gaze to Mayan art, which seems to emerge from the jungle itself, delicate, vibrant, and alive. Picture a sunlit chamber deep within a palace at Copan, where walls are carved with intricate bas-reliefs, each figure frozen in mid-motion, yet somehow breathing with life. The artisans captured kings, gods, animals, and mythical creatures with careful attention to detail, clothing, posture, and expression, creating stories in stone that can still whisper across centuries. Pottery, painted with natural pigments in reds, yellows, and deep blues, depicts daily life, rituals, and celestial phenomena, a soft visual language that speaks to patience, observation, and care. The art was not merely decorative, it was functional, ceremonial, and symbolic, bridging human experience with the spiritual and cosmic. As you imagine walking through these spaces, the smooth walls under your fingertips, the faint scent of aged stone and pigments, you can almost hear the quiet concentration of the artists, their hands moving with meditative rhythm, each stroke or chisel mark a moment of connection with the world around them. Mayan art teaches us that beauty can be an invitation to slow down, to observe, and to feel the profound quietude of creation itself. Now, moving softly into Fact 9, let us drift to the subject of Mayan mathematics, a field of astonishing subtlety and quiet elegance. The Mayans developed a vigesimal or base 20 number system that allowed them to perform calculations that were essential for astronomy, architecture, and trade. Imagine a scribe seated cross-legged on a woven mat, carefully arranging dots and bars on paper or carved into stone, each representing a number, each combining with others to map the patterns of the stars, the cycles of the calendar, or the boundaries of a city. One of the most remarkable features of their system is the concept of zero, represented by a simple shell symbol, a quiet and profound recognition of emptiness as a necessary part of the whole. This abstract idea, so essential to complex calculations, emerged independently in Mayan thought long before it became common in other parts of the world. Through this system, they could predict eclipses, track Venus, and ensure their rituals and agricultural cycles harmonized with cosmic events. It is a soft, intellectual dance, a slow unfolding of ideas, where numbers are not just tools, but companions in a meditative dialogue with the universe. Thinking of Mayan mathematics in this way, one begins to see numbers not as cold or rigid, but as elements of a gentle, ordered, and deeply reflective world. Finally, drifting into Fact 13, let us explore Mayan medicine and healing, an area where observation, intuition, and ritual converged in a quiet harmony. Mayan healers, often called shamans or curers, possessed intricate knowledge of the local flora, understanding which plants could soothe, strengthen, or cleanse the body. Picture a healer walking softly through the forest, hands brushing against leaves and bark, inhaling the subtle aromas of herbs and flowers, selecting with care the materials for their potions. Treatments often combined physical remedies with spiritual practice, as illness was sometimes seen as a disturbance of the soul or a disruption in the balance between humans and the divine. Rituals, chants, and offerings accompanied herbal medicine, creating a slow, layered approach to wellness that addressed body, mind, and spirit simultaneously. The knowledge was transmitted quietly from elder to apprentice through observation, repetition, and careful practice, ensuring that every touch, every preparation carried intention and care. In imagining this practice, we see a society that revered life in its many forms, that approached healing not as a hurried procedure, but as a patient, reflective act deeply embedded in the rhythms of nature and the cosmos. Now, gently drifting into Fact 11, we explore the Mayan connection with the natural world, a relationship that was intimate, observant, and profoundly respectful. The Mayans did not simply live among the forests, rivers, and mountains, they listened to them. Imagine walking through a dense, misty rainforest, the air cool and damp, alive with the chirping of insects and the soft rustle of leaves. Every sound, every movement of a branch or ripple in a stream carried meaning for the Mayans. They observed the flight patterns of birds to predict the rains, noted the flowering of plants to guide planting seasons, and even followed the behavior of small animals to understand changes in the environment. Their knowledge was not extracted in haste or force, but gathered slowly, carefully over generations. They saw themselves as part of an intricate web where human action and natural rhythm intertwined. Gardens, fields, and ceremonial grounds were aligned with natural features. Terraces mimicked the contours of hills, and reservoirs collected rainwater as if honoring each drop that fell from the sky. This quiet attentiveness allowed their civilization to thrive for centuries in environments that, without understanding, might have seemed forbidding. The lesson is subtle yet profound. Life, when observed slowly and with care, offers guidance and wisdom beyond measure. Now, moving softly to Fact 12, let us immerse ourselves in the Mayan understanding of death and the afterlife. Their beliefs were rich, layered, and intertwined with ritual, landscape, and storytelling. Imagine standing at the edge of a shadowed cenote, a natural sinkhole that reaches deep into the earth, where the water reflects the faint glimmer of sunlight filtering from above. These sacred sites were thought to be portals to Xibalba, the Mayan underworld, a place of trials, transformation, and renewal. Death was not feared, but seen as part of the eternal cycle, a journey of the soul into other realms where ancestors and gods awaited. Tombs within pyramids and temples were carefully constructed with offerings of pottery, jade, and food placed beside the departed as if to provide comfort and guidance on their quiet journey. Imagine the hush of the priest's chants echoing through stone chambers, the soft glow of firelight illuminating carved symbols, each a message of protection, hope, or reflection. Even ordinary individuals, not just royalty, were remembered and honored, with rituals ensuring that memory and spirit remained woven into the living world. This understanding imbued everyday life with reverence and calm awareness, a reminder that every ending is also a gentle continuation. Now, floating slowly toward Fact 13, we find ourselves among the quiet power of Mayan architecture, where each stone, each angle, and each carved stairway speaks in subtle whispers of human skill and cosmic order. Picture a temple rising against a coral-colored sunset, the shadows stretching across terraces and steps, the wind carrying the faint scent of moss and earth. The Mayans were master builders, constructing pyramids, observatories, and palaces with such precision that some structures aligned perfectly with solstices, equinoxes, and celestial bodies. Their understanding of proportion, symmetry, and durability was remarkable considering the tools they had. Steps were sometimes steep and deliberate, requiring careful meditative movement to ascend, reminding participants of both physical and spiritual effort. The buildings themselves were symbols, teaching stories in stone, heroes, deities, and rulers immortalized in bas reliefs, steles, and painted murals. In walking among these structures, one feels the echo of countless generations, the soft murmur of history carried in stone, as if the Mayans intended not just to impress, but to invite reflection, calm contemplation, and a sense of connection to something far greater than oneself. Architecture for them was both functional and spiritual, a slow dialogue between human intention and cosmic design. Now, as we drift to fact 14, let us observe the Mayan practice of trade and commerce, an intricate system that stretched quietly across jungles, rivers, and mountains. Imagine traders moving slowly along forest paths, carrying cacao, jade, obsidian, or woven textiles, their footsteps blending with the natural chorus of birds and insects. Markets were alive with soft murmurs of barter, the clink of beads, the gentle rustle of goods being exchanged, yet this was no hurried chaos. Trade routes connected cities, allowing ideas, rituals, and knowledge to travel alongside material goods. Some products, like jade, were treasured not merely for beauty, but for spiritual significance, each piece carefully shaped and transported with care, its journey as important as its destination. Traders themselves were often respected figures, carrying not only commodities, but stories, news, and wisdom from distant lands. In observing this system, one sees the Mayans' patience and foresight, the quiet understanding that prosperity and connection come not from force, but from steady, respectful interaction, and that the slow rhythm of exchange fosters harmony across communities. It is a reminder that even the movement of goods can be a gentle, mindful act, a bridge linking lives and cultures across distance and time. Finally, we arrive at fact 15, which leads us to the Mayan fascination with writing and storytelling as a bridge between generations. Beyond their glyphs and codices, storytelling was a living, breathing practice, soft and immersive, carried through songs, dances, and spoken word. Imagine sitting by the flickering light of a fire in a clearing, listening as elders recount tales of gods, heroes, and the origins of the world. Each story is layered with symbolism, moral guidance, and gentle humor, conveying lessons about courage, balance, and respect for nature. Some stories explained the stars, the rain, or the cycles of the moon, while others narrated the triumphs and trials of kings and commoners alike. This oral tradition worked alongside writing, ensuring that knowledge, culture, and wisdom were preserved across generations. The act of telling a story was quiet, intentional, and meditative, a way to bind people together, connect with the past, and contemplate the future. In this way, the Mayans nurtured a culture that revered memory, reflection, and the subtle power of words to shape perception, thought, and emotion. Now, drifting softly into fact 16, we find ourselves exploring Mayan astronomy in even deeper detail, for the night sky was a canvas upon which their culture unfolded. Imagine a vast clearing in the jungle at twilight, where the canopy opens to reveal the first stars, shimmering like distant lanterns. Mayan priests would sit quietly atop pyramids, observing the heavens with patience that almost feels sacred, noting the rising and setting of planets, the appearance of Venus, and the intricate dance of constellations. Their observations were not hurried or purely scientific. They were intertwined with ritual, agricultural planning, and spiritual reflection. For the Mayans, the stars told stories and gave guidance. They tracked celestial events that signaled the best times to plant maize, to perform ceremonies, or to honor deities. Imagine the quiet of the night, broken only by a distant call of a nocturnal bird, while the observer notes subtle shifts in the sky, each movement a thread in a tapestry connecting Earth to the infinite cosmos. Their ability to calculate eclipses and predict planetary cycles demonstrates not only intelligence, but a patient, meditative understanding of time and space, reminding us that the universe, observed with care, becomes a companion rather than a distant abstraction. Now, moving gently into Fact 17, let us explore Mayan mythology, a realm where gods, animals, and humans intertwine in quiet, intricate narratives. Picture a slow sunrise over the low hills and rivers as stories unfold of deities like Itzamna, the creator god, or Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, whose soft, graceful movements connect sky and earth. Myths described creation, the underworld, and cycles of life, embedding lessons about morality, courage, and harmony within their narratives. These tales were not just entertainment, they were contemplative guides for living in balance with nature, society, and the cosmos. In ritual dances and performances, the myths were brought to life, each movement deliberate, each costume and gesture filled with symbolism. Imagine the gentle sway of feathers, the soft stamping of feet, the whisper of leaves brushing against stone terraces as the story unfolds, creating a space where imagination, reflection, and reverence coexist. Mayan mythology, in this sense, functions almost like a lullaby for the mind, inviting contemplation of forces larger than oneself and encouraging a quiet, attentive presence within the world. Now, as we drift softly into Fact 18, let us turn to the Mayan codices, rare treasures of knowledge that survived the passage of centuries. Picture an ancient scribe, inked fingers resting on folded bark paper, sunlight filtering softly through leaves overhead, writing symbols that map both practical knowledge and spiritual insight. Only a few codices survive today, yet they reveal the Mayans' mastery of astronomy, ritual, medicine, and mathematics. Imagine tracing each glyph slowly, feeling the careful rhythm of creation, each line deliberate, each symbol a gentle meditation on understanding the world. These texts reveal lists of deities, eclipses, rituals, and calendars, forming a bridge between the tangible and the divine. Their codices were portable, delicate, and sacred, meant to be handled with care, slowly studied, and used to guide communities in harmony with celestial and earthly rhythms. Even in their fragility, they speak of a civilization attentive to the small, the detailed, and the eternal cycles that connect all living things. The very act of writing, reading, or preserving a codex becomes a quiet, reflective practice, teaching us the beauty of slow, mindful attention. Now, moving softly into Fact 19, we find ourselves within the Mayan realm of music and sound, a subtle yet essential thread of their daily life and ceremonial practice. Imagine the soft tap of a drum echoing across a stone plaza, the low hum of wind through jungle foliage, and the distant call of tropical birds harmonizing with human voices. The Mayans played instruments crafted from wood, clay, and shells, flutes, drums, and rattles, each creating sound that connected the earthly and the spiritual. Music accompanied rituals, dances, and storytelling, marking transitions in the agricultural cycle or punctuating the solemnity of offerings. Picture a ceremony at dusk, the firelight flickering across painted walls as musicians create rhythms that ripple through stone steps and into the listening hearts of all present. The music is not hurried or forceful. It flows with the natural cadence of life, blending with wind, water, and animal sounds, forming a quiet, immersive tapestry. In this, the Mayans remind us that sound, like movement and observation, can be a gentle guide to awareness, reflection, and connection with forces both visible and unseen. Finally, drifting into Fact 20, let us explore the Mayan innovation in water management, a quiet testament to their ingenuity and patience. Imagine the soft murmur of rain in the jungle, the earthy scent rising from wet soil as the Mayans guide water through carefully constructed canals, terraces, and reservoirs. In cities like Tikal, they built vast systems to capture and store rainfall, ensuring survival during dry seasons while reducing erosion and maintaining fertile fields. These reservoirs were not merely functional, they were carefully integrated into urban design, aligned with plazas and ceremonial spaces, blending utility with aesthetic and spiritual purpose. Walk slowly through these sites in your mind, stone-lined channels, gently curving terraces, the calm reflection of water in reservoirs framed by the soft green of surrounding jungle. The design reflects careful observation of rainfall patterns, topography, and soil behavior, combined with a long-term vision that safeguarded communities across generations. This quiet ingenuity mirrors the Mayan approach to life itself, patient, measured, and deeply aware of natural rhythms, demonstrating that true innovation often emerges not from haste, but from gentle attention to the world and its subtle patterns. Now, as we move softly into Fact 21, we find ourselves exploring Mayan jade and ornamentation, treasures that reveal not only wealth, but reverence for beauty and meaning. Imagine walking slowly through a quiet workshop, the soft rustle of leaves outside blending with the gentle tapping of stone against stone as artisans shape jade into pendants, figurines, and ceremonial masks. The green of jade glows softly in filtered sunlight, each piece polished with care, smooth under the fingertips, alive with subtle energy. Jade was far more than decoration. It symbolized life, fertility, and connection to the divine. Nobles and priests wore it to reflect status, while offerings of jade were placed in tombs and temples to honor gods and ancestors. The process of carving itself was deliberate and patient, requiring steady hands, focused attention, and a deep appreciation for the material. Imagine the quiet concentration, the almost meditative rhythm of shaping, sanding, and polishing until each piece seems to hum with subtle life. Through jade, the Mayans remind us that beauty is inseparable from intention and reflection, and that even small objects can carry profound significance. Now, as we move softly into Fact 22, we observe the Mayan relationship with cacao, a gift of both sustenance and ritual. Picture a morning in the jungle where the scent of rich earth and ripening cacao pods mingles with the cool dampness of the air. The Mayans cultivated cacao carefully, harvesting pods, removing beans, and fermenting them slowly, letting the process transform raw seeds into a sacred beverage. Cacao was consumed not casually, but in ceremonial contexts, mixed with spices, sometimes honey, and always with reverence. It was considered a gift from the gods, and in some cases it even functioned as currency, a gentle reminder of the intertwining of economy, ritual, and everyday life. Imagine a priest offering cacao in a quiet temple, the aroma warm and earthy, the drink sipped slowly as part of a ceremony honoring the cycles of life and nature. In this simple act, we see the Mayan ability to find depth and meaning in sustenance, reminding us that even nourishment can carry reverence, reflection, and a quiet connection to the greater world. Now, moving softly to Fact 23, let us wander into the Mayan world of astronomy and architecture together, where pyramids and observatories align perfectly with celestial events. Imagine standing on a pyramid at the first light of dawn, the stone steps cool underfoot, the forest stretching endlessly beyond as the sun rises and aligns perfectly with a carved stairway or temple doorway. This alignment was no accident. It reflects the Mayans' profound understanding of both the heavens and the earth. Observatories were designed to track planets and stars, while ceremonial platforms marked solstices and equinoxes. Picture the calm, patient observations of the priests and astronomers, watching the skies day after day, noting subtle changes and recording them carefully in codices and on stelae. This harmony between built structures and celestial rhythms reflects a society that sought to integrate human life with cosmic cycles, fostering a sense of continuity, calm, and cosmic awareness. Walking through these spaces, one can almost feel the slow heartbeat of the universe echoed in stone and sky alike. Now, drifting to Fact 24, we turn our gaze to the Mayan hieroglyphic codices and their rare preservation. Imagine holding a fragile bark paper book, its folds worn but symbols still clear, each glyph a quiet window into the thoughts, rituals, and knowledge of centuries past. Only a handful of these codices survived the ravages of time, yet they reveal a civilization deeply invested in knowledge, astronomy, mathematics, calendars, medicine, and stories of gods and rulers. Handling a codex would have required gentle care, as though the book itself contained the pulse of life. The act of reading or writing in this form was slow and deliberate, almost meditative, a quiet communion with ancestors. Each symbol, carefully inked, carries not only information, but a sense of presence, patience, and observation, reminding us that the Mayans approached learning as a sacred practice rather than a hurried task. Finally, drifting softly into Fact 25, we explore the mysterious decline of the Mayan civilization, a quiet, contemplative ending that invites reflection rather than alarm. Imagine walking through a jungle slowly reclaiming an abandoned city, vines curling gently around pyramids, moss carpeting the once polished stones, the air filled with the soft hum of insects and birds. Scholars believe that a combination of environmental changes, resource depletion, and social upheaval led to the gradual abandonment of many cities. Yet this decline is not a story of sudden collapse, but of quiet transformation as communities moved, adapted, and continued traditions elsewhere. The ruins today whisper stories of resilience, ingenuity, and the impermanence of even the greatest human achievements. They remind us that all civilizations rise and fall in rhythm with nature and circumstance, and that the legacy of culture persists in stories, art, and memory, carried gently across time like a soft breeze through the trees. As we close our journey, let us linger in the quiet beauty of Mayan civilization, reflecting on the intricate harmony of their cities, the precision of their calendars, the delicate elegance of their art, and the reverent connection they maintained with the earth and the cosmos. From the soft murmur of streams guiding agricultural cycles to the gentle glow of jade and the aroma of cacao, the Mayans remind us that attention, patience, and observation can transform life into a subtle, enduring wonder. Let us carry this calm, meditative reflection with us, letting their whispers of history drift gently through our minds, a serene reminder that even in the passage of centuries, the quiet resonance of knowledge, art, and human curiosity can still soothe, inspire, and invite contemplation.